Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So far, Bitcoin is still in our price channel. I'm here on the daily time frame, kind of following the idea I distributed. I published this morning, you could say. I published this morning in our member area, but also on X. If you follow us there, then you know about that. I think I mentioned in the video update as well that we could see a bit of a bounce here. And I shared that more specifically also with arrows here this morning, 11 hours ago. Good reaction to the 100% extension level shown in blue and the trend channel support line. We might spend some more time in this channel. And this is kind of at the moment, kind of you could say what it's doing right now. We had a reaction to the lower boundary line, and now we are on our way to the upper boundary line, basically, right? So on the daily time frame, I have no change. We are still moving in the channel. We had a first reaction to support. Someone asked me earlier today, what if this entire correction is already done? And I said, well, that would be very much in line with my bullish scenario, right? But I need basically need to confirm that we need a break above the upper boundary line of the. It's a corrective price channel we're moving in, right? Of course, the move down could be finished. It reached the zone, which is basically a typical standard target zone for a C wave, okay, between 99,220 and 92,830. But it has reacted, but we don't really have an impulsive upside reaction. Now you might say, oh, isn't that impulsive what we see right now? Unfortunately not. We only have 3 waves up, even though it's aggressive, but it's just normal volatility in the crypto sector. So we need to see a little bit more evidence. But all I want to say, look, don't necessarily vibrate out of your chairs yet. We just following currently the idea I shared earlier today. That does not yet mean that we have really bottomed overall. It would be good for the altcoins, I can tell you that. I mean, only on Sunday, we talked about all these altcoin setups. I think most of them are still valid, even though pullbacks were deep. We talked about many of these altcoin setups in our member live stream, and honestly, they need an upside reversal. So, I mean, it's like the last chance for them. I just don't see yet the evidence that the low is in. Okay, it might be, it might be, but then it would be a very, very shallow pullback again. Okay, we'll talk about that on the smaller time frame in a minute. But again, if you want to get further insights like these, either check out our membership or follow us on X for some additional updates. Not as many as you can find in our member update area, but still you can find additional updates here on X. The link is in the description. Let us now also take a look at the microstructure, and let's take a look at the latest, let's say, price data here. And I mean, here you can see everything in more detail, right? Here you see this B wave top and the pullback that landed in this blue zone. And we have a reaction. Now, as you can see, this move down is not yet in 5 waves. I mean, I hope you can see that. It's not 5 waves, it's 3 waves. So, of course, there's a way that the overall correction could be over, but it would have to be a WXY structure where we would say, hey, this was wave W, which doesn't make sense because it's a 5-wave move. So it's most likely not wave W. This would be X and this would be Y in 3 waves. That's valid, but again, this first move down looks like 5 waves. So it can't really be a wave W, which should be 3 waves. You can probably find a way to interpret that as a 3-wave move, but again, we have a questionable WXY structure, and we only have a 3-wave move up, so I don't have enough evidence to say that we've bottomed. What could it be? So we could still be in the white count, absolutely. As I said, as long as we only have a 3-wave move up, it might be some kind of a B wave or an extension of this diagonal pattern we're tracking already, A, B, C. So this is... obviously, we have the context that I just showed you from our larger time frame thesis, right? And now we try to figure out what could be the pathways within this range the market might follow. And one way would be an ABC structure still possible, yeah, in circle wave B, which could then result in a C wave down. And if we now see a break below, let me share with you what the level is. If we now see a break below the 50% retracement level there at 102K, this would likely end this uptrend, most likely, and could send us down in circle wave C. That would be the first indication a local top is in. Today, the market has basically moved up. We started the day with a micro 5-wave move up, 3-wave pullback. I shared that setup with you in the last video update. And now we have a rally, and that rally isn't over yet. So pay attention to $102,000 as micro support. We're now fighting with the next resistance level there at 104,040. Not broken yet, okay? Next resistance would be 106,550. These are the levels we talked about earlier today. And then the upper boundary line, which comes in kind of at around 109K, where we also have this swing high from the 16th of June. So, what would be the bullish alternative? I talked about that. That's the blue count. We can be a bit more confident about this because we have, pushed quite high after the Sunday low, but it's still only a 3-wave move up. So this would be the pathway I'm going to follow if we push higher in 5 waves in blue. But yeah, for now, this is just a 3-wave move up. So the way to track this now, in my opinion, is to understand what are the relevant resistances, what are our boundary lines here in this trend channel, and what is micro support, which is at 102K. So any break below could send us down lower in the C wave. That should give you a lot of clarity. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.